Yeah, so just go ahead and find your way to your backs. If you'd like to grab that glass of water and set it by your mat, like I said, that's just going to serve as just that reminder and just that water element of emotion, allowing that water element to support us in release and letting go. So bringing your awareness just to your natural breath. Maybe just letting those shoulder blades sink down into the floor. And the backs of the legs sinking into the floor. And maybe for just a moment, bringing some awareness to that pelvic area between the hips where that water element resides. Just breathing in and out. And feel free to sigh if you want to sigh. Whatever's going to support you in just arriving in this moment. And this full moon flow that we're doing tonight, we're really going to use this energy of the full moon to support us in our practice, and our postures that we flow through will support us in letting go. So a full moon is really supportive in bringing things up and drawing things out of us. So just say that to yourself. The full moon draws things out of us, brings things up and draws things out. And so maybe just taking a few breaths to just be. Knowing that you're on your mat. So you're already here. Maybe tonight you just want to lie down for the whole practice. Or maybe as we move through our postures, there's one that just really resonates, that you can really feel deep inside. And you want to just pause and remain in that posture. Just really feel what's going to serve you and help you bring things up and draw them out. Maybe just visualizing them being drawn out, and that vessel that has the water in it, just flowing into that vessel and being there. And then after our practice, you can do whatever you like with that water. Maybe you bless it and thank it for supporting you in releasing. You can wash it down the sink or pour it outside, but thank that glass of water for helping you to remove those emotions, to draw things out. Now just gently, maybe moving the head from side to side. And maybe beginning to move the ankles side to side. And if there's anything specifically that comes to your mind or your heart that you would like to draw out and you'd like to release, just bring that to your mind now. Allow the awareness and the breath that we breathe in our practice to support that drawing up and letting go. And so from our backs, let's just bring our knees into our chest. We can rock side to side a few breaths. And then we'll come into a figure four. So maybe you want to straighten that left leg and bring the right ankle just below that left knee. And if you want to bend that left leg, you can. And then bring your hands behind, through the legs and behind that hamstring on the left. And then just an invitation to draw that entire kind of clump of legs towards the chest. And you can lift the upper back and bring the nose maybe towards the shin. Just a reclined figure four. You can always release the upper back to the floor. And again, that water element that resides between the hips, bringing our awareness to our hips, into that low belly. The moon is also associated with the water element. We have a lot of water energy around us tonight. Couple more breaths. Maybe sigh, let it go. And now gently maybe releasing the hands, letting that foot kind of float towards the floor. You can release that right ankle, maybe bring both feet to the floor and just pause with both feet on the floor. And maybe bring the knees side to side, windshield wipering out the legs just a little, or maybe a lot. Moving side to side, both of those knees, maybe moving together. Feeling some awakening in the outer hip. Now bring the knees back to center, extend the right leg to sky, and then bring that left ankle just below that right knee and maybe hug the knees into the chest. You can bend that right leg, or if you want to keep it straight, keep it straight. Just feel into this shape. Maybe closing the eyes and just allowing yourself to be present in this pose. And always the invitation to lift the low back off the floor and the nose to the shin. You can leave that low back on the floor. Maybe noticing in the body where you have any physical sensation. Now slowly lower down. Maybe the right foot just a little, and then bring the left ankle off of the leg and bring both feet to the floor. And then we'll windshield wiper the legs out again. Side to side. Just nice and easy. You can pause and stay with your knees on one side of the mat, maybe longer than the other side, just really feeling into this stretch. And then bring both of the knees to center, and let's hug them into our chest again. Maybe that low back coming to the floor. We can rock side to side. You can even bring the nose towards the knees. And now let's bring the upper back to the floor. Come into happy baby, maybe grabbing the big toes with our peace fingers or the outside of the foot. And if that's not quite accessible today, maybe bringing the hands to the shins or hands kind of behind the knees. Just opening up the hips a little bit and be pressing those knees towards the floor for a happy baby. Ananda Balasana. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe noticing a little more opening in the hips. We'll inhale. And exhale, sigh. Now a couple more breaths. And now let's exhale, release the feet to the floor, and bring the hands above the head on an inhale. Reach the fingertips towards the wall behind you. And then we'll stretch our legs out long and reach the toes towards the opposite wall. Really find length. And now let's exhale, bend our knees so our feet are on the floor, bring the hands beside us. And now we'll lift up, coming into Navasana. Or you can roll over and find boat pose. Maybe the feet are flexed, or the toes are pointed with the knees bent, or maybe the legs are long. Navasana. Always an option to bring those heels to the floor and just lift the chest. Engage the low stomach. There's still a lot going on. We like to call these boat burners, right? So let the Navasana kind of burn in the core. You can move the knees in and out. Whatever you want to do in your little boat. And then we'll exhale, lower down the heels. And let's lift the hands to the shins. Bring the heart up. And then exhale, let's round. Bring the hands free, cat back. Bring the chin to the chest. And inhale, bring the heart up. And then exhale, bring the palms to the sky, lift the heels. If that feels good, come back into Navasana. Legs can be long, or maybe legs are bent. If you want to bring your hands together and bring your hands over to one side, maybe to the right side. Then exhale through center over to the right side. Maybe just explore the burn of this. Maybe hands are into the chest and you bring the legs long, and then you bring the hands in and point the hands over the feet, and then back out, and then bend the knees, point the hands kind of towards the feet, and just come in and out. Always an option to rest with the heels on the floor. We're just going to create some heat. So it's almost like we're causing that water in our body, that water element, to start to boil, because we're just going to bring everything up. So just a few more boat burners, however you want to burn. Just find the burn that works for you. Maybe the burn that works for you is to sit in that fire after you create that burn. A few more breaths wherever you're at. And then come to the heels on the floor. And then we'll bring our soles of our feet together, the knees out wide, opening up that lower belly. Roll the shoulders back, shine the heart forward. And now let's exhale, lean the heart towards the soles of the feet for our butterfly and a little bit of a lean. And exhale, maybe round the spine so the chin comes to the chest. And then we'll inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Hands can come beside us. We're going to come right into Malasana, our yogic squat. So the toes point towards the edge or the corners of the mat. The hands can come to heart center. Yogic squat. If you have a block, you can sit on a block. Maybe the elbows press into the knees, or if you want to round the back a little more and press those triceps into the knees, you can. There's just a variation in the back. So if we have the elbows pressing in, it's a straighter back. The triceps, it's a rounder back, and tuck the chin. One more breath. And now let's inhale, rise all the way up, straighten the legs, reach the arms to the sky. And now exhale, bring the hands down to the side. Nice, guys. Then pivot the feet to face the front of the mat, roll the shoulders back, and then we'll pause here on our mountain pose. Let's inhale and exhale. Now bend the knees. Let's reach up for sky. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale up to flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down. And now we're going to pivot our feet. Sit down in Malasana, opening up the hips, shining the heart forward. Inhale, let the moon energy bring up anything it needs to bring up. Now inhale, rise up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, let's step both feet back. So now we're in our plank pose. Lift those hips high, press the earth away. And now lower down and move through cobra pose or upward facing dog. And then back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now from here, let's pause in our downward facing dog for a couple breaths. Let's inhale. And then exhale, step the right foot forward. And then step the left foot, and then we're going to sit down in our malasana. Opening up the hips, shine the heart forward, guys. And then exhale, rise up to the sky. Exhale, fold mountain pose. Be noticing the temperature of the body. Is that water boiling? Is the fire burning? What's the body feel like? Inhale again, reach up for sky. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's step both feet back again, moving through our sun salutation. And now lowering down to our vinyasa. Inhale. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inside out. Opening up those hips a little more. We'll send our right leg to the sky, bend the knees, stack the hips. And maybe glance underneath that left armpit. Let's send the chest towards the thigh. And then maybe make some circles with that right leg. Switching directions whenever feels right. Then exhale, lowering the right foot down. And then settling into downward facing dog again. Really breathing. Bring your awareness to your hips. And then imagine those sits bones reaching for the sky. And now float the left foot up, stack the hips as we bend that knee, and glance underneath the right armpit. Notice that left heel. So that hip is stacked. And then make some circles with the knee. Maybe it's that full moon. I saw it this morning. It was so gorgeous. It was bright yellow. And now exhale, lower the foot to the floor. And then maybe notice where there's heat in the body. And now let's step our left foot forward first, and then our right. Feet are wide, and we'll sit down into our malasana. Exhale. Inhale. And now exhale, an option to come into crow pose. Maybe the hands come down to the floor. And then shift the weight under the balls of the feet. The hips lift. The heart comes forward, so the heart beams in between the hands. Shift the weight into kind of the elbow, the tricep area of the legs. And then lift those feet. Maybe the big toes come together. The gaze can be down, or maybe the gaze is up. Just a few breaths in your Bakasana. Then we'll exhale, lower the feet, ground the heels. Inhale, reach for sky. And exhale, mountain pose. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Kind of a variation of our sun salutation. Inhale, flat back. Good, exhale, fold again. Inhale, step both of our feet back. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now we'll step our right foot forward. Bring the right foot on the outside of the right foot. Lower down the left knee. And now bring that right hand to the right knee. And press that knee out to the side, opening up the leg, a variation of our lizard. Notice the inside of the front of that left leg. This is our big hip opener. Inhale. Now exhale, bring that knee back, and the hand comes to the floor. Lift the left knee, step the right foot back. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, float the chest up. And let's hang out here And just notice the front of that left hip flexor, that left leg. Stretch it out from that pigeon pose we were just in. And now exhale back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And inhale. Exhale, step the left foot forward, bring it on the left side of the mat, on the outside of the left foot. Lower the right knee down. Then exhale, bring the heart towards that left knee. Press the left knee away with the left hand. Our variation of lizard on the other side. Noticing a twist and opening of the hips. That water element, the moon energy. And then exhale, sigh. Inhale, bring the heart back to center, bring that knee in. Pivot the left foot in just a little bit if you need to. Curl the toes under of the right foot. Step the left foot back. And now lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, we're going to hang out in our Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press the earth away, lift the heart. Bring the awareness to the hip flexors. And then exhale, curl the toes under, back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Sighing out the mouth, you need to release some heat. And then we'll inhale, step both of our feet forward, coming into our Malasana yogic squat. Sink the hips down, lift the heart. Press the elbows or the triceps into the knees. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sigh out whatever this energy is bringing up. And then we'll inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Option to fly the crow. If you don't have crow in your practice just quite yet, then maybe just bring the hands down and bring the hips up high, but press the hands into the floor. Or always an option to come into chair pose. So find what works for you tonight and really be present wherever you're at. Notice if that water element is boiling or if it's still and cool. And now we'll exhale wherever we're moving from into our yogic squat. Find Malasana. We'll inhale. Really nice, guys. And then exhale, we'll rise up. And then exhale, bring the hands to the side. And we'll rest in mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. We blink the eyes, open if they're closed. And now step that right foot back, pivot the right foot towards the long edge, and then move that left foot towards the long edge as well. So now our toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Let's bring those heels in so the toes point towards the corners. And then exhale, coming into our goddess squat, Utthakata Konasana. Then any variation with the hands. Find that stability and groundedness in the feet. And then when you're ready, let's open up our arms wide together and bring our hands to be apart above our head. It's as if we were holding that moon in our hands, between the hands. Then let's come over to our right and just keep those hands apart. But if we had the moon there, putting it down, across the floor, over to the left, and up to the sky, and then back again, around. You can straighten the legs if you're starting to feel that burn there and it's a little uncomfortable. Just honoring the body. One more time around with this moon, this disc that's reflecting the light of the sun and bringing up and drawing out any emotions or patterns. And then pause at the top. And then exhale, bring your arms out wide, straighten those legs, and allow the hands to come all the way to the side. And pause. And exhale. Now bend those knees again, coming into goddess pose. So in goddess pose, our toes kind of face the corners. And we sink the hips down. We can tuck the pelvis if that feels okay on the low back. And let's bring our hands to our hearts. Feel the beating of the heart in the chest. Then inhale, straighten with the arms, straighten the legs. And then sigh, let it go, releasing the hands. Roll our shoulders back, pivot the feet, heel toe them in so they're about hip distance apart. We're going to come into our flying pigeon. So just like we had our figure 4 on our backs earlier, this is like our flying figure 4. So we're going to ground into our right foot, bend that left knee, and then bring that ankle just below the knee. And balance and stand, fly a little bit. And you can bend that right leg as much as you need. Maybe it looks more like a tree with the ankle kind of on the thigh. You don't have to bend and sit up much if you don't want to. You can always find a wall as well. Maybe you have the moon up above your head. Maybe you have it out in front. And then of course, if you want to add on a little bit, you can bring those triceps to the inside of that foot and below that knee. Bring the hands to the floor, and you can fly that pigeon. And you can always practice this later with dog beds and pillows, but just a little variation for our flying pigeon if that pigeon wants to soar a little more. And we'll release our arms out and down and ground through the feet. Now ground into that other leg. So the left foot grounds, bend the right knee, and then stack that ankle just above the knee. And that knee can come down as far as it can. Bend the knee, bend that standing leg as much as you want. And then fly your pigeon. Maybe it holds that moon again. Maybe you've got dragon wings if you're feeling mythical, or cactus wings or cactus arms if you're feeling a little prickly. Just let whatever comes up come up. And then that option to fly the pigeon. So remember, our triceps are like the shelf. So we fold, fold, fold as if you're going to our Uttanasana. Here, I'll come closer. Yep, so we're gonna fold like if we're coming to Uttanasana. Our right tricep is the shelf here. It's gonna hook right inside that, inside of the left or the right foot here, yeah? And then the other tricep right below that knee on the shin. So it's right here, yep. So hook, get the shelves, bend that standing leg a lot. Hands down, find your center of gravity. Float the heart as you scoot that standing foot back. And then lift and kind of hover. And make sure you can breathe. Make sure you can focus. And then whenever you're ready, come back. Bring that pigeon back to its nest and rise. Release the feet to the floor. Shake it out. Shake out the hands. Really nice, guys. Yeah, good. Let's reach our arms up. And let's step our feet wide. Maybe bend over to one side just to kind of shake that pigeon out. Then over to the other side. Good, and then we can bring our arms out. Shake the arms out. Good. Nice. Let's come up to the front of our mat. We're going to start our moon salutations. So let's bring our awareness to the body. Let's close our eyes. Notice the beating of our hearts. Maybe the rate of our heartbeat. Maybe the temperature of the body. And now our moon is cool. The moon energy is quiet. It's more passive. It likes to listen and be still, and it can go inward. It's a contrast to that solar energy that is warm, that burning that we've been doing. It's very solar, so we're going to balance that with our lunar energy. So with our shoulders back, we're going to come on to the middle of the mat because we're going to move from the all along the length of our mat. Okay. And so we're going to inhale, bring our arms up to sky, palms together, and then exhale over to the right. And now inhale, step the feet wide, extended mountain pose. Let's inhale and exhale. Now inhale, pivot that right foot, setting up for triangle pose, and reach that right arm over, and then exhale, hinge at the waist. That left arm up to the sky, the right arm on the inside of the leg, opening up the hips, bringing that awareness back to the hips. Feel them open as we send the left hip back and the right shoulder back. Let's inhale here. Now exhale, bring the left hand to meet the right, bend the right knee, and then pivot onto the ball of that left foot. And maybe bring the hands down for our crescent lunge. Maybe lift the heart just a little. Chandrasana. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more inhale. Now exhale, frame that foot. Pivot both feet towards the long edge again. Come into our side lunge. So we're going to be facing the same way the entire time. So our side lunge, you can come down a lot. Maybe your side lunge looks a little more lifted. We'll be here for a couple breaths. Inhale. Now exhale, let's bring everything through center. Pivot the heels so we come into our goddess squat again. And exhale. Maybe you hold that moon above your head, or maybe the arms are in cactus or at the thighs. Let's inhale. And now exhale, side lunge to the other side, over to the left. You can lower down a little or a lot. Let's inhale. Now exhale, pivot the feet towards the other short edge of the mat, coming into our crescent lunge on the other side. You can hover the heart over the thigh. The hands kind of hover on either side of the ankle, our crescent lunge. Inhale, exhale. And now exhale, bring that right heel down, straighten that left leg, bring the hand on the inside of the left leg, and reach the right arm up for sky for triangle pose on the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now let's exhale, come back up to extended mountain pose. So our toes face the long edge again. The arms extend out. Fingertips point for the sides of the room. Inhale. Now exhale, step both feet together. Hands come together and then over to the left. Up to the middle. Over to the right. And now exhale, step the feet apart. Extended mountain pose. Let's inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, pivot that right foot so it faces the short edge. Reach the right hand over and then hinge for triangle pose. Exhale. Inhale and then exhale. Now exhale, bring that left hand down to meet the right. Bend that right leg, pivot onto the ball of the left foot. Crescent lunge on the other side. Here we go. Exhale. And inhale. Now exhale, frame the foot, pivot both feet back towards the long edge, and we'll come into our side lunge, Skandasana. Maybe notice the temperature of the body. Maybe notice the beating of the heart. Has it slowed or has it sped up since we started? And exhale, come through center, goddess pose. Exhale. Inhale. Now exhale, side lunge over to the left. Frame the foot, lift the heart. Exhale. Now inhale. Now exhale, pivot both feet towards the short edge so they are pointing that direction. The hands can hover on the side of the ankles. The heart hovers over the left thigh. Crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, pivot that right heel down, straighten the left leg, bring the left hand on the inside of the leg, reach up for sky, Trikonasana. Allowing that breath to just fill the body. And then exhale up to extended mountain pose. Pivot that foot towards the long edge. And then exhale, let's step our feet together. Over to the left. Back to the middle. Now over to the right. And then we'll come back to the middle. And exhale, bring our hands to our heart. And we'll pause in our mountain pose. Bring our awareness to our heart. To the physical body. And we'll just pause here. Let's release the prayer pose. Bring the arms up to the sky. We can fold Uttanasana. And we'll step everything back to plank pose. Inhale, Palakasana. And then exhale, let's bring our knees, mat distance apart, and sit back in child's pose, Balasana. If that doesn't quite feel too good, we can come into our Anahatasana, puppy pose, with the hips over the knees and the heart melting down. Let's slow it down, allowing that lunar energy to really sink in. As it brings up and draws out any emotions, any thoughts, anything that we're ready to release. And sigh. Let's inhale, lift the hips, bring the wrists underneath the shoulders. Pause here on our tabletop just for a breath or two. We'll drop the low belly, lift the heart up for cow. Then exhale, round the back, tilt the pelvis for cat. And now find that flat back. And then we'll gently come to a seat. Let's come with our kind of left knee down to the floor, and we'll keep our right leg bent with our right foot on the floor. We're going to come into Gomukhasana. So if you have a blanket handy, sometimes it's nice to have a blanket or a block, because we're going to stack our knees as best as we can. So sometimes that looks, for me, sometimes my knees are right on top of each other. Sometimes I have a blanket. So let's bend that left leg first. So that left heel is kind of towards that right buttock. And then our right leg is bent. And then bring that right foot kind of beside the left thigh. And maybe that right ankle comes on top of that left knee. You can always stack a blanket there. Just noticing the outer hips here. We've been kind of working on the inner hips. Now we're going to sink in a little more to those outer hips. So whatever your cow face pose looks like, just find that. And then we'll bring our arms up to the sky, maybe holding that moon. Yeah. Then we'll exhale, bend that right arm and that left elbow compress. So the left hand compress that elbow down. If the bind is in your practice, then bring that left arm behind, and you can find the hands can kind of grab each other behind you. It's a really big shoulder opener. So if your shoulders aren't quite open for that, I really like the variation of just pressing that elbow down. And now let's inhale, bring the arms up. Yeah, then exhale, bring the hands down in front and just fold maybe that forehead towards the knees. The chin can come to the chest. Just notice where in your body you feel this sensation of this posture. Maybe slowing down the body and cooling the body with the breath. So maybe beginning to exhale out the mouth if you haven't been already. Gomukhasana. You're welcome to take a couple moves if you want to move. Imagine a cow jumping over the moon in our cow pose here. And then we'll inhale, reach up for sky with the hands. And then float the hands down. Now let's bring that right knee up. We can send that leg out. Let's bring that other foot to the floor. And then just like we did earlier on our backs, let's just windshield wiper the knees. So over to one side, into another side. And then back to the other side. Over to the other side. Now let's bring both of our knees to the sky and the soles of our feet together. We're going to transition through our butterfly pose again here before going to the other side. So the soles of the feet come together, the knees are maybe out wide. The feet can be really far from your body, or they can be close. So it's just more a hamstring stretch or an adductor stretch, depending on where you have your feet. So just find what feels best for you. And then if you want to sink that heart towards the feet, you can lean forward, keeping those sits bones grounded. Maybe you just keep the heart high. Maybe soften the gaze. And notice that water element in the low belly. Is it boiling like it was before in our boats? Has it kind of settled? Notice the temperature of the body and the rate of the heartbeat. And then exhale, sigh. You bring the shoulders back over the hips. Knees to the sky. And then let's bring that right heel over to that left buttock. So the right knee is kind of towards the floor, and the left foot comes on the side of that right thigh. And then maybe stack the knees as much as is comfortable in your body. That blanket's always really helpful to maybe bring between the knees. Maybe you want to bring a blanket underneath that bottom knee to bring the knees kind of up. So just explore what feels best for you. And then really just melt into this pose. You can hinge forward with that chin to the chest, bringing the forehead towards the knees. Or maybe you keep the heart lifted so that heart just beams right past the tops of the knees. We'll inhale. Exhale. Couple more breaths here. Inviting in some stillness. Really noticing how that solar energy that we started at the beginning with, that fire and this lunar energy, how they balance each other. The warming and the cooling. The active and the passive. And then exhale, bring that forehead up from the knees and then bring the shoulders back over the hips. Let's unravel the legs. If you want to bring, before you do that, if you want to bring your arms up and bring that left hand down the back, you can do that too. So opening up the chest, that right hand offering that elbow down. And of course, that bind is always available if you want to bring the hand behind and bring that right arm up to meet the left hand. You can do that. We can always ask ourselves, is it worth it? It's another thing we say sometimes that encourage. We have our boat runners and then we have our guiding question of, is it worth it? So just find what will bring steadiness of mind to you. And then we'll exhale, release the arms down. Lift that left knee up, bring the legs out. And we're gonna come onto our backs this time. And on our backs, however you wanna get to your back is fine. If you wanna roll over, if you wanna take a boat pose down. And then once you get there, find your butterfly. So soles of the feet come together, knees come out wide. For our reclined butterfly. And exhale. Again, bringing our awareness to the temperature of the body and the beating of the heart in our chest. And your next exhale, let's bring our knees together so they point towards the sky. Hug them into the chest. And then we're going to find happy baby again. Kind of coming full circle to how we started class. Just like that moon salutation. Ananda Balasana, blissful baby. Find some bliss here in this pose. Now, if you'd like to bring your legs long for a variation of legs up the wall, I invite you to do that. And our next posture is Shavasana. So whenever you feel ready for Shavasana, just allow yourself to bring even more surrender into your practice and find Shavasana. And let a big exhale go when you get there. Scanning the feet and thanking the feet for holding you up in Tadasana and grounding you to the earth in mountain pose. Moving up the leg, thanking your knees for bending in happy baby, in boat pose, in Skandasana, in Malasana. And your entire legs for bending and standing and grounding and supporting you. Release any tension or holding in your legs. And moving to your hips. Thanking your hips, just like your feet, for that stability and allowing the groundedness. Thanking them for their center of gravity that allows you to fly a crow or a pigeon, or to make the downward facing dog shape, or to sit in a boat pose or a malasana. And release any holding or tension or emotions from your hips, from your pelvic area. Relax from the hips down to the feet. And thank your stomach, your core, your side body for extending and reaching and creating space in triangle pose, in boat pose, for holding you up in mountain pose, in crescent lunge, for all the energy that's been freed and released by creating heat in the body, especially in the core area. Thank your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists for the strength, for the expansion. For everything you've touched today and will touch tonight. Thank your head and your heart. Your ears, your eyes, your lips. For the balance, for the vision, for the knowing. And soften your entire body into the floor and allow it all to relax. Filling your body with gratitude for every little part. And then inviting the power of the lunar energy to just flow through your entire body, through everything that you just thanked. And invite that energy to just bring up and draw out anything that doesn't quite serve you anymore. To just let it flow out like water and into maybe that water vessel that we place beside our mats at the beginning of class. Maybe visualize it just bubbling up, whether it be the water itself, the boiling water that we boiled and it comes out like steam, but just imagine that energy leaving the body. And then just feel what it's like to let it go. And be in that freedom and be in that release. And let it go. And let it go. And now bringing awareness back to the body. Maybe opening and closing the hands, moving the head side to side, moving the feet. If you'd like to come up to a seated position, just moving to the side first if you want, or maybe you want to come straight up and sit. But there's no rush. Really good, guys. Just take your time. Now just visualize that full moon. Maybe you saw it. It wasn't, scientifically, technically full this morning, but if you saw it this morning on a clear day, it was so bright. You see it this evening. Take in the beauty and see how full it is. And over the next few days, as this full moon just begins to wane and be smaller and smaller, let that be a reminder of whatever was brought up and drawn out tonight. Let it be a reminder that that is just drifting away into the shadows and you are free and it is behind you. And it makes room for new growth. And when that new moon grows back into the full, let that be a reminder of that new growth. Maybe bring your hands to your hearts or keep them on your lap. Such a pleasure to practice with all of you this evening or this afternoon, wherever you're at. Namaste. Thanks, guys.